This is Vikas Singh from Origin, and today in this video I'm going to give you the demo of VMware vSphere 6.5 installation and configuration. So welcome to the VMware world, and this is VMware vCenter 6.5 installation and configuration. So in this demo we are going to focus on installation and post installation configuration from VMware vSphere 6.5. Also, you can take our help to set up VMware infrastructure for you. You can contact us. Our contact details is given in below description. So let's move. Here we have a demo environment which we are going to use in this demo, where we are going to set up a VMware vSphere 6.5 infrastructure. So we have three virtual machine basically here which we are going to use in this demo. So the first machine is a Win2K12 DC01, which is our Active Directory server, you can see, and this is running on Windows Server 2012 R2, and you can see IP address 192.168.2.54 and 4 gig of RAM, and our domain name is origin.co. You can see the first machine. So this is my first machine, Win2K12 DC01. If I go to local server, you can see Active Directory and DNS is running on this machine. If I go to local server, you can see computer name and domain name, IP address, and your machine configuration. So to configure a VMware vSphere 6.5, we need the domain infrastructure in place. So this is basically my domain infrastructure. And second machine is vCenter 6.5, which is going to be a vCenter server in our infrastructure. So this is also running Windows Server 2012 R2, and I have assigned 20 gig of RAM to this virtual machine. So minimum requirement for installing VMware vCenter 6.5 is 8 gig of RAM. So here you can see this is our machine vCenter 65, and you can see the IP address is also configured. You can see the memory 20 gig, and you can use the like minimum requirement is 60 gig of hard drive to install our operating system 2012 R2. So we are using the minimal requirement. And our last machine is ESXi, which is running on 6.5. If you go here, you can see ESXi 6.5, which we are going to use to add in vCenter infrastructure after installing the vCenter and vSphere infrastructure on this machine, which we are using as a vCenter server here. So this machine is pre-configured with IP address and everything. So we have configured IP address and host name for this machine. So you can go ahead, and if you want to log in, you can go ahead and log in and check everything. So this is basically my ESXi host, which is running on VMware 6.5. So let's go and do the installation step by step. So here is step by step installation and configuration for vCenter 6.5. So the first task we need to do it. We need to rename the server vCenter server and join machine and domain and restart. So you can see I have already configured the IP address and host name, rename this machine. So we are good to go to join this machine in domain. So I'm going to do it now. So origin.co, and you need to type the credential to join this machine in domain. And welcome to origin.co domain. So go ahead and reboot this machine. So hit Ctrl+Del to log in. So you need to create one domain account to log in on a vCenter server. So I'm going to do it now. On AD server, I'm going to open Active Directory users and computers. And there we have Origin, and I'm going to put here user account, create one new user account. So call it like vCenter admin, and going to set the password. And this user account I'm going to use as a service account, so password never expire. So we are good to go and join login with this account. So vCenter admin and put the credential. You can see we have logged in, so we are good to go. And now the next step is install VMware vSphere 6.5 on this machine. So we are going to mount the installation media. So I have already mounted the installation media. If you go here, you can see the media is mounted. So just open it and need to click on auto run file, so it will ask you to run. Yes, I want to run. And here you can see the simple installation wizard which is saying vCenter server for Windows. Yes, we need to do it. And you can see pre-request none. There was no pre-request now for vCenter 6.5, so it will include everything which we need to install before installing the vCenter infrastructure. So it will basically prepare your server also. So go ahead and click on install. Now Windows installer is running. It's preparing the installation wizard. So soon we will get the installation wizard for this. So now welcome to the VMware vCenter 6.5 installer, and it's initializing in background. So now we are good to go to install. Click on next, and here we have I accept the license term. So we have a two type of installation for VMware vCenter 6.5. First one is vCenter server and embedded platform both on one machine, and we can go for external deployment like platform service control on some other machine, and we can install a vCenter server on another machine. So what this is like, vCenter is a vCenter server which is going to provide infrastructure to manage our VMware infrastructure, and embedded services is a service controller basically which is providing the vCenter backend component like certificate services and single sign-on, licensing, everything. So we are going to use the vCenter server and embedded platform service control on same machine, which is embedded deployment. So click next, and system account name, we have a vCenter 65 horizon.co, and this is going to be our single sign-on domain for vCenter internal infrastructure. So leave it default. We need to set the password here, so I'm going to set my credential here. You need to make sure you remember the installation, this credential, because after the installation we are going to use this account to log into first time in the vCenter server. So click next, and we have a vCenter service account, so I'm going to use a Windows local system account. So click next. If you have any generic account, any service account, you can go ahead and use the service account also. So leave the default, use Windows local system account. Click next, and we have here we have a database setting for vCenter infrastructure, where we all the component and object which we are going to create in data center, and the object information is going to save in some database. So this is the database. You can provide an external database like SQL Server or anything. So vCenter also, VMware also have their embedded database, which is VMware Prostage. So I'm going to use it. Click next, and these are the common ports which VMware infrastructure is going to use to manage their ESXi host, vCenter server, platform controller, everything. So you need to make sure these ports are available for deployment, and also you need to make sure these ports are open in your Windows firewall and your network level firewall. So go ahead, click next, and this is destination directory where we are going to install a VMware server and embedded database, embedded server. So go ahead, leave the default, click next. If you want to join, you can join. So click next, and this is the information which we are going to do with this installation. So you can verify all the details, and you can click on install to run the installation for VMware vCenter 6.5. Now if I go here on memory utilization, you can see the only 1 gig of memory is being utilized for now, And once the installation is complete, we can see around 6 to 8 gig of RAM is going to be utilized by VMware vCenter's infrastructure. And also we will get lots of services which is related to VMware infrastructure is going to create there. So now if I go here, type VMware, you can see only we have a few VMware tools running, which is because I am using this machine on VMware workstation. So only we have a 4 services now related to VMware, which is basically supporting for VMware thin client. And we need to wait for 20 to 30 minutes. The installation of vCenter will require 20 minutes less, around 20 minutes to get the installation complete. And once the installation is complete, we can go ahead and do the next task, which is post installation configurations. So I'm pausing the recording here and we'll write back once the installation is completed. So now you can see the setup is completed, your vCenter server is successfully installed, and also you can see here our memory utilization is around 8 gig. And if I go to services, refresh it, you will see lots of VMware services is now enabled, like directory services, platform service controller client, and we have security token. So all the VMware services is there. So we can close this, and now we can launch the vSphere client. So make sure you have a browser installed like I or Chrome, anything. So I have Google Chrome installed, and it is set to default web browser. So if I'm going to click here, you can see it launch in Chrome, and we can go ahead, and you can see here something related to warning. We have some warning related to HTTPS because the certificate is not installed. So we can make it proceed to vCenter. Then we have here icon to login. So we can put here credential which we have used during the installation. So I'm going to type that credential, administrator at vSphere .local, and put the password for that account. Click login, and we are logged into VMware vCenter's single sign-on. So now we are in, and we have here vCenter server, and you can go ahead and manage license, like you can go and add your vSphere licensing here in server. So license, basically here you can see here, and you need to click on add, and you can insert the license, which type of license you have. So you need to type the license key and click next, so it will allow you to add a license. So if I go on home page, you can see we have all the things here, like we can manage here from our vCenter infrastructure, storage, networking, servers, everything. So I'm going to click on host and cluster, and now you can see welcome to vCenter server, and it's giving us to create a data center. So data center is basically a logical object where we are going to define our cluster host and ESX cluster host, ESXi virtual machine. So I'm going to create a one logical object here, which is horizon dc.ca, which is Canada. Click OK, and now you can see we have done here. And next step, we have few other tasks like add Active Directory identity with vCenter server. So what does it mean? So now you can see I have logged in with the vSphere local account, and we can't use our domain account to log in, like vCenter admin to log into vCenter infrastructure. So we need to do that, allow that uh, domain accounts to get the permission. So go to home, we need to click on administration. In administration you can go here on configuration. You can see here identity source, and we can add here. For now you can see vSphere local and the server default OS is added. So click on add, and we can integrate with Active Directory authentication. So Active Directory, go ahead and click next, and you can set the our name, which is a domain account, which is origin.co in our case. So click next, and it's ready. Now you can see Active Origin is added here, and now we can give our account permission to log in. If I log out from here, and if I try to log in from vCenter admin now, it will give you the error like invalid credential. And let's allow this account to log into the vCenter. Local. So how to add this account? So in Active Directory identity, so we need to log into vCenter server, and then you can see here we have selected vCenter server and need to go in permissions. You can see here who have administrative access on this vCenter server, so we need to click add. Which permission you want to allow? So I'm going to allow administration, right, administrator account. So we need to we have here like vSphere local, the computer itself, like we have few account and group on computer, and we have also here origin.co. so it will take us some time to search the account detail in our Active Directory. So just wait for a few seconds here. Now you can see this account is searched vCenter admin, so click add and then click OK, and now you can click OK, and you can see here now our origin slash vCenter admin have administrative access on this OU, on this vCenter infrastructure. So you can log it and try again with the domain account. So I'm going to log in back by vCenter admin. Agent.co. Click on login. Now you can see we are authorized to log into vCenter infrastructure on this particular vCenter. So let's do a next task, add ESXi host to the vCenter server. To go in vCenter server, and we have created this, and now I can go here and click on here on the data center which we have just created, and we have here icon to add a host. So you can use the both name or IP to add the host. So I'm going to do one test here. So if I ping ESXi-01 now, you can see it's not getting resolved because we don't have any DNS entry in Active Directory to resolve this name. So I'm going to create one A host record. So in forwarders, I'm going to put one A host record. Name I'm going to call ESXi-01, and IP address is 192.168.1.254, and I'm going to add this host. And now we can go here, and if I click minus lookup and put like ESXi 01. We got the entry, and if I go on my vCenter infrastructure and try to ping this name, so ping ESXi 01, you can see it's getting resolved, so we can use the name or IP both. So I'm going to type the name here, ESXi-01, and click next. Now you can see it's asking for credentials, so root, and the password says ESXi host root account, and it's asking for thumbprint. Yes. So now you can see the information about the hardware. So I'm using on virtual machine VMware acquisition, so it's giving the vendor VMware and model VMware virtual platform. So it's running VMware ESXi 6.5, build number this. So we are good to go. Click next, and we have option to assign a license. Now either you can have a 60 days free trial, so I'm going to use it. And we have a lockdown mode, so I'm going to disable, leave the default. And we have a VM location where we want to put the VM, so good to go, and this is ready to complete. And if I click finish, then it will going to add this ESXi host in this data center. So we are done, and now you can see we have a last step, which is create virtual machine from vCenter. So I'm going to create this last task now, so we can have a deploy image, clone, everything. So I'm going to create one new virtual machine. Click next and call it like demo VM, and where you want to save it, our data center. So compatibility check successful. Click next, and we have a storage location where we want to put the storage. So I'm going to leave the default. Click next, and we have a compatibility, so I'm going to run it on VMware ESXi 6.5. so click next, and we have OS information, so I'm going to leave it default as this is like temporary machine. So I'm going to, you can change the RAM and CPU, everything. So I'm going to make it GB 4 gig, and we're good to go. Click next. If I click on finish, you can see we have insufficient disk because we don't have free space. So I'm going to make it another machine, like call it demo VM, and leave everything default ESXi 6.5, and I'm going to select Linux and 7. Click next. So click next, and this is all information, and now you can see VM is created, and we can go ahead and install the operating system and run the virtual machine. So I'm going to power on it. So this is the all infrastructure which we are going to use here. So we are done with installation and configuration of vCenter 6.5 step by step. So thank you for watching, and if you have any question related to this, you can post me on our comments, and if you have any query, you can contact us. Our contact details is given in below description. Thank you once again. Bye bye.